Hello everyone, it is me, GamePenguin21, and today we're going to be looking at this amazing Lucas video because, quite honestly, there is still a little bit that I wanted to talk about in this context. And yeah, I know the whole Redfall deal and stuff like that, and maybe this gameplay is going to look a little weird because I might be doing some Honkai Star Rail stuff. What? I've gotten addicted to the game. Shut the fuck up. In any case, we're taking a look at this video because apparently Insomniac is not to blame for the lack of Spider-Man 2 news. Rather, it somehow has to do with Xbox, even though Xbox themselves had quote-unquote admitted, which is probably not true, to basically not being in the same marketplace or whatever the fuck. Whatever, I'm not going to reference that or talk about that any further. This is a completely different topic, but I wanted to bring it up because apparently it's Xbox's fault. So I'm going to be skipping past this whole intro bit and kind of just speed running through the general, first 2 to 3 minutes of this video, just because it's, background stuff. You can still, hear it and whatnot, and if you really want to slow it down, I'll just speed up the footage so we can get through this quickly. Anyway.
Careful, Miles. Insomniac is on some bull. Oh, my goodness. So, did I not warn you all this? Did I not tell you that the same thing that we are experiencing right now would happen? Did I not? Okay? Insomniac is, yet again, treating their customers, their fan base, like a side chick, bruh. I thought that after them being acquired, I figured, they're no longer going to do us like this, right? They're no longer, this was just, Insomniac because they were doing their own thing, but now they've been acquired, they're going to have some standards, some rules, some principles, some ethics, but no. What do we get? We almost going on 2 years with nothing. Nothing, fam. Think about this. Where have we been getting most of our information from, huh? From everyone but Insomniac. We've been getting it from Tony Time, we're getting the voice actors, we're getting reporters, hip-hop gamer. We've been getting it from everyone and anyone. And then, you want to know what really got me in my skin, bruh? You want to know what really got me? When someone asked, hey, what is the game still coming out, right? That is a problem. Listen, if anyone asks you, hey, is so-and-so still alive? That's a problem. That means they haven't seen that person. There's been no contact, nothing. That's what they asked to Insomniac of the biggest game of 2023. And yes, I said the biggest game. I don't care what y'all say. There's no other game that comes anywhere near Spider-Man 2.
I can think of several games that actually come between the two, but I'm not going to name them here because most of those are other games that you just don't care about. Yeah, certainly I think that Spider-Man 2 will be one of the biggest games if it comes out this year, but seeing as how we haven't seen anything of them, I don't think that they're ready to do anything. And yeah, certainly, what he says is that is true, that they don't really have much to show for it, probably because they're still stuck working on the goddamn game. Now, again, this is not the weirdest thing that we're talking about here. Their games have gotten announced where we've gotten long periods of time where there have just been nothing about it. One of the biggest ones being Cyberpunk 2077. That might not be, one of the biggest letdowns, probably. Matter of opinion, really. But it is one of the times where we saw one trailer and then we got nothing for years upon years until they were about ready to release the actual games. And we kind of got drip-fed stuff, and it took a long-ass development time. But yeah, 2 years, that's not that long in the grand scheme of things, depending on where you're doing and what you're talking about. But I do agree that it is a little bit weird that we don't see much in terms of stuff. But at the same time, it's not unexpected at this point. Weird, but not unexpected.
I know y'all want to say Breath of the Wild 2. Stop it, bruh. Stop it, fam. Please stop it, okay? What y'all want to say? Starfield? We'll get into that later. Nevertheless, someone asked, hey, what's going on? They're like, yeah, it's still coming out 2023. And they're like, yo, why did y'all taking so long? You haven't said anything for almost 2 years. What's the deal? These mofos, bruh, if I could get my hand on whoever handles Insomniac's Twitter and responding, bruh, ooh, I would give them an ear lashing. Man, ooh, bruh, they respond with, let us cook. Let you cook, fam. They talking about that they've been in the kitchen for a year and it smells good. Let us know. Do you not understand how stupid that sounds? We've been in the kitchen for a year and it smells good. Hello, hi, I'm the person who ordered the food. Doesn't it make sense that you would tell the person who ordered the food, the patron, that hey, the food's there, it's gonna be, give it some time, just give it some time.
Is that not what they did? Did they not say that in the post? It's hey, what's going on with Spider-Man 2? And then they responded oh yeah, we're still working on it, but we just don't have anything to show for it. They've said that. What is the problem here? Why is that? Why are you having a problem with this? They said exactly what you wanted. They got you a little bit of an update. Yeah, certainly it's buried in the depths of just the disgusting cesspool that is Twitter, but at the same time, you got your update. What are you complaining about? But yeah, obviously, in this context, he sounds like a fucking Karen. I'm not gonna lie. He sounds like an absolute Karen. The male equivalent of whatever a Karen is. That's what he sounds like. Oh, yeah, I want to see your fucking manager so I can give you a fucking ear lashing. Blah, 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 blah. You sound like a 6-year-old Karen that's, trying to get over some sort of divorce by taking it out on like other people. Like that's completely what it sounds like. I don't know why, but it does.
Okay, it's coming out real well. Don't worry, we had a little mishap, but it's coming out. Bruh, that's like us sitting down, waiting for our food. Oh, yeah, that's the hit of the menu. That's the top of the menu. Okay, yeah, I'll have that.
One eternity later.
A whole year. Now, I don't know about anybody waiting a whole year for the food, but anyways, that's what it is. We just sitting there patiently, right? I've been good. I haven't said anything. I haven't made any videos talking about Insomniac or how they're mishandling the communication yet again.
Except for this one.
Like they did with Spider-Man, okay? Spider-Man PS4. God knows where James Stevenson is. James Stevenson's like, I can't deal with this, y'all. After the puddle gate, I can't deal with this, y'all too much. Y'all not paying me enough, I'm out of here. We're not getting anything. And these fools had the audacity to say, let them cook. You're cooking shite. That's what you're cooking as far as I'm concerned. Absolute shite. You haven't told us anything. The last thing we got was a little animation of Peter and Miles during a Super Bowl Sunday. And people were so excited over that. I was excited. I was like, oh, okay, Spider-Man still happens. Spider-Man still happens. Nah, bruh. And this is not Insomniac's fault. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is not
Why, though? If they are mishandling the communication, in your opinion, right? They are mishandling communication. They're not giving you what you want from them, right? They are not talking in a manner that is appropriate for what you believe a company should talk to their consumers about, which those standards have never really been set before. And yet, it is not Insomniac's fault. How can you go on a rant for 4 solid minutes, half of your fucking video, and say, no, it's not the fault of the accused, and then decide to be a fucking lawyer for some reason? Explain that to me. All right, regale me with how it is not their fault. Explain it.
Insomniac's fault. Don't blame Insomniac, okay? You want to know who I blame? I blame Xbox. That is correct. That is the reason, and I told you guys this, that is the reason they are treating us like hand-me-downs. They're treating us like trash, okay? It's because of Xbox. There is a lack of competition in the market. So when there is a lack of competition in the market, guess what? PlayStation gets to do whatever they want to do. If they don't want to give us any information for a year, then they don't give us any information for a year. What you gonna do? Where are you gonna go to, huh? What are you gonna go to, huh? What, gunk? Is that where you gonna go?
Wow. He brought up the funny named video game again. Gunk really seemed to get under your skin. The fuck got up your butt that, like, you still think that Gunk is, like, the biggest game that Xbox has released. Have you not seen Hi-Fi Rush? I'm fairly certain that was a huge-ass fucking game that got released. And it's like, oh yeah, where else are you gonna go? I don't know, maybe my computer, my PC, maybe Xbox, because they have Xbox Game Pass for whatever reason. Maybe even Nintendo, if you're kind of a masochist like that. But they still have really good, solid first-party titles as well. So, yeah. There's other options. It's just that with the Sony's domination so far, I mean, at the same time, I could say that, like, the reason why I play on my PC is because I don't want to be pigeonholed into having a console for whatever reason. And yeah, certainly. PlayStation has a very big market share in the actual gaming industry, 100%. Which is why I'm actually kind of fucking confused as to why the Activision deal didn't go through. Not that I'm that bad or upset about it. It's just more of like, why the fuck did they do that? But bureaucracy's gonna bureaucracy, I guess. But, I mean, sure, whatever. PlayStation has a really good thing, in your opinion. This is your opinion. So, yeah. But I also like how this is, like, the same argument that I've covered in a previous video. I can't remember the specific person, but there was another person who I believe was on the Xbox side of things who would constantly defend Xbox and said that Sony was bad because Sony was getting, like, all these PlayStation ports or whatever, was getting upset because they were the only one in the competition and Xbox was giving competition and stuff. Again, I forget the specifics, but it's the same argument, same points, same somehow logic, but from different perspectives. Which kind of goes to show you how stupid some of these arguments can be. But we continue.
Is that where you're gonna go? Have fun. They know that. They have cornered the market. That's why I'm constantly berating Xbox.
That and also because it's your main viewer group.
Listen, create something. Create something. Give them some competition, please. All right? They treat us like slaves. That's what they doing because y'all won't free us. Free us from these chains. Please, Xbox, you're our only hope. Free us from these chains. We all know nobody's excited for Starfield. Hell, you wanna know how we know that? They've shown us more of Starfield than we have ever seen of Spider-Man PS2 thus far. They showed us a whole bootleg, broken demo with freaking 1995 graphics of Starfield. We haven't got nothing from Spider-Man 2. Nothing, fam. Absolutely nothing. And here's the thing, we got
Starfield and Hi-Fi Rush and Game Pass and a lot of Bethesda games now. I mean, yeah, certainly they bought a lot of that, and that kind of upsets you, but they're still technically first-party stuff. And they really wanted to put Call of Duty on it, but unfortunately they lost that lawsuit. I guess they can't really do it within the 10-year time span or whatever, but fuck it. It's really weird that you're trying to make this argument again that, like, oh, Xbox doesn't have anything. It's like, they have stuff, it's just the stuff you don't care about. Other people do, and I'm fairly certain that other people are excited for Starfield. You just don't know about them because, again, you are in the PlayStation space. You're in the PlayStation marketplace. Well, PlayStation store, whatever the fuck. The community of PlayStation, whatever they call themselves. So no one's excited for Starfield because it's not coming to your console. So no one really cares. And yeah, you're saying, oh, it's a 1995 graphics or whatever. Starfield looks pretty decent. Gonna be honest. Also, by the way, I've just only now noticed, because I've been staring at his shirt a lot, that he has the same microphone that I am currently using right now, as well as he also has the Don't Abort Swallow, which... Okay.
Final Fantasy. We got Stellar Blade. What does Xbox have? A game that people have already forgotten existed. Of course Sony is going to take advantage of that. Of course they are. If Xbox was coming out with some bangers, you can't tell me that Sony would be like, okay, all right, people seem to be really excited for that game and that game. You know, how about we drip feed them a little Spider-Man? Just let them know that, you know, we're still here, it's still coming out. Give them a little post, You can't tell me that wouldn't happen, all right? Because that's how things work, all right? When there are bangers coming out, when Xbox is having bangers, and that's been a while. But if Xbox were to have bangers, guess what? They would remember Spider-Man, but listen. If all these bangers like, hey, this is coming out in September, this is coming out in June, this is coming out y'all get excited because even 2024 we coming out with bangers. We got a new IP here, new IP there. They keep telling us how many developers they bought. I don't care. Nobody cares. We don't care about how many developers you buy. We care about what you produce, fam. Y'all bought up what all the game developers there is possibly. Y'all screaming about Bethesda, this and this, and every single time, these simpletons.
I mean, aren't you tired of waiting? Yeah, certainly. One of the other things is that somehow you have turned this into an Xbox argument, and yet this video basically says that, oh yeah, I'm fucking tired of waiting for Spider-Man 2 news, so I'm just gonna complain and rant about it on the internet. Kind of sounds like it's a little bit of hypocritical right there. Like a little bit of hypocritical. A little bit of hypocritical. I mean, in all honesty, you understand that the reason that you're making this video is because you're upset at PlayStation, or more importantly, Insomniac, for not giving news updates on Spider-Man 2, and they said that they're working on Spider-Man 2, they just don't have anything to show for Spider-Man 2, which a lot of developers in this day and age have done it. And again, you're saying, oh, we haven't heard anything from them in a year. Sir, Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky would like to see you in the back with the double barrel to make sure that you see the rabbits, John. That's the wrong reference, but you get my point. People have waited a lot fucking longer for games and have been a lot more disappointed in those types of games that have taken a longer time to do that. I mean, again, fucking Dead Rising 2. Or Dead Island 2, not Dead Rising 2. Dead Island 2. What the fuck? Like, how long was that in development hell for? How long? Did we not hear shit about it until, like, they had one good gameplay trailer? And I looked at it and I went, that looks like garbage. And people were like, yeah, this looks like pretty garbage, but people still bought it anyway? Like, how many developers and shit did that kind of bounce around between because Deep Silver wanted to get this idea out the door? And yeah, certainly the end product was okay at some points, but at the same time, like, you gotta admit a little bit, bro, that the point that you're making this video is to try to say that Spider-Man 2 should come out, or we at least should hear some news about it. And that people are being like, oh, well, wait, how the fuck did we get to a completely different topic in this video? You completely switched gears and said, oh, yeah, it's Xbox's fault because Xbox's promising the future and stuff. And yet Sony is not doing anything, and they're not producing or talking about any of their new projects for one reason or another. Like, you realize that says a lot more about Sony and how much they very clearly control the news that comes out in that context. You also listed off a couple earlier videos, or earlier ones, where those actually had exclusivity contracts or something like that. In all honesty, you completely switched up your argument, and that's kind of dumb.
That our Xbox players constantly say, well, just wait. Aren't you all tired of waiting? I'm a PlayStation fan, and I'm tired for you, fam. I'm tired of y'all getting disrespected because now it's having an impact on me, because now I'm being disrespected.
I mean, that kind of just sounds like a lot of different types of argumentation nowadays. Just pick one ism, and you can kind of be like that.
Shake some stuff up, man. Talk to Phil Spencer, get him to do something. Come on. You have the money. All right, now you have AI. Brett, you teamed up with AI. Get AI to create you some IPs. For goodness sakes. They are hoeing us over here with Spider-Man. That's what they are doing right now. They are hoeing us. And it's because of you, Xbox.
I mean, if they weren't afraid, why the fuck would they stop a, $68 billion deal with Activision? If they weren't afraid of Xbox, right? Why would they stop the deal? Why would they go and complain to the CMA or whatever and be like, hey, you might want to stop this? If they're not afraid, wouldn't they just allow it to kind of go through and not make the stupid arguments that they've made? And was probably one of the reasons why they actually got the deal stopped, is because they brought it to the attention of the bureaus that kind of were like, whatever, we don't really care. And literally everyone else came forward and said, yeah, we can take this 10-year deal, because 10 years is a fucking long time in technology. A fucking long time. That's an entire generation and a half, if I think about it correctly. And we're already halfway through this one, so we can expect the next generation to be in the next 5 to 6 years, maybe. And you're telling me that it's because of that Sony isn't afraid of Microsoft, even though Microsoft basically put their wallet down and said, hey, you want to buy shit? You want to get a lot of these exclusivity contracts? We'll play ball. And then when they decided to play ball, guess what? Sony was like, oh, maybe we should go and stop this. At least that's the way that it seemed like it. Or maybe the complaints about Jim Ryan, or the fucking producer of Xbox, the CEO of PlayStation, I should say, being like, I don't want any of your deal, I just want to stop your merger. Pretty much quoted on social media and stuff like that.
It's because of you. They're not afraid of any Starfield. They ain't afraid of gunk. Give them something to fear. They're not afraid of Halo with them 360 graphics. I'm just saying, I'm starting to feel the heat. I'm getting frustrated here. And it's not like you can't bluff them, right? Well, if you don't give us Spider-Man, then I'm not buying the game. Okay, sure. Yeah, right. They already know that. They already know that we're Spider-Man whores. That's what we are. We're Spider-Man whores. Okay, fine. I was joking. Just give me something, please. Give us an eyelids, fam. Just give us an eyelids. Okay, is the eyelids the same? Anyways, guys, that's the video.
I mean, if you stand by what you say and actually vote with your wallet, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. He then goes on to another fucking minute of this. I think I'm just gonna cut that out because, quite honestly, I don't think we need to really continue any more of that, because he gives off his outro and then just goes on for another 30 minutes or so, or another minute, like I usually do. But I actually have a conclusion to make. In all honesty, this is probably one of the most hypocritical comments I've ever seen, especially coming from a PlayStation fanboy. Now, we've talked about this sort of thing before. Again, I think on this channel. If not, I do remember a video that came out that I might have covered, or not. I forget specifically. But essentially, there was another video that I remember out there that existed where the person made the exact same argument that because Xbox wasn't releasing a lot of the same first-party bangers that Sony was, that it was because that they can do whatever the fuck that they want, which, again, I have to disagree on several different occasions. Why? Because, well, again, Sony gets a lot of the exclusivity contracts, and they are very, very, very secretive about a lot of the stuff that they're producing and talking about. Same with Xbox. Xbox isn't beholden to something completely different, or completely different standards in this context. Both of them are just as scummy and can use just as underhandedly tactics to try to get each other out. This is not me defending Xbox in any way. But at the same time, Sony is somehow more scummy because, again, they secured a Final Fantasy exclusivity contract for a while. They stopped the merger between Xbox and Activision. And again, were one of the only few ones that were offered a 10-year contract, which is a fucking long-ass contract, right? A huge-ass motherfucking contract that everyone else had signed, but they were the only ones that didn't. 10 years is a long time. And they were like, we don't want your money, we just want to not merger this as well. And I will also point out that, again, this is still an old thing, but I'm going to keep banging this drum. Sony hates crossplay. Like, they fucking hate crossplay. You have to bend over backwards and, like, offer them a ridiculously, hugely, stupidly unfair deal for Sony in order to even get a seat at the table to talk about crossplay. Call of Duty had to do that. Motherfucking Fortnite had to do that. And I hate that I had to bring up Fortnite. Hell, even Minecraft had to do it. And Sony was the last one to get crossplay. Because guess what? Fucking, we could play on everything except the Sony, including your goddamn phone with Minecraft. What the fuck, for years? So, yeah. Anyway, hypocritical arguments aside, I think that this video really does show that Lucas himself is a Hulk. For the same reason, well, whatever. I'll stand by that. He is someone who essentially is shilling for a company because he feels that they are consumer friendly. Kind of, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe I completely missed the point of this entirely, and maybe that wasn't his point at all. Who the fuck knows? But, in all honesty, the way that I take away from this video is that this man will never let Xbox win, because PlayStation, quote, always wins. Anyway, my name is GamePenguin21. This video was hot garbage on a summer's day that decides to be set on fire with the entirety of a Molotov cocktail and a peace off.
That's alright.